How are you going to prepare for the upcoming musical?
And this year, I'm also thrilled to be working with Mrs. Mitchell. And so, although I've done musicals at other buildings before, it's always nice to kind of do the hometown thing with the kids that I know every day. And so if they have any questions or anything, they can ask me throughout the day as well. But I'm loving working with the kids here at Heritage Middle School and the younger kids, and I think it's going to be a great production of Bugsy Malone Jr.
Why do Garrett Williams and Emily Goodwin be good for the parts?
Casting is always a really troublesome thing, and we always hope that when we see kids sing and see kids read, that it'll just kind of click and fall into place, and it tended to do that pretty well this year. There were lots of kids that could have played any role, but somehow there were just a kid or two that stood out, and you knew that that was the part that they needed to be in. And so we listened to everybody and gave everybody a fair chance. In fact, we listened to people more than once generally, especially during the callbacks, and you try to see who reads well together, who sings well together, and who kind of has a little bit of a chemistry on stage together, and the sassiness or the demeanor that is required by that character, and that's just how you know it's gonna be that person. So congratulations to everybody who made it. There were some tough choices, but some great kids.
Why did you choose Bugsy Malone Jr. as the play?
Musicals from which to choose, and Mrs. Wheeler was really instrumental in ordering several of those for us. But by the time you look at the number of kids in the cast and the number of boys that a show needs, or a number of girls that a show needs, you know, if you have a lot of boys, you want to cast a show that has a lot of boys, like West Side Story, one of my personal favorites. But you also have to look at the voice ranges, and I go through and do all of that. And so when everything came down to it, we just felt that Bugsy Malone was the best choice for this year, that would involve the most kids and give the most kids an opportunity to be on stage. Making the story come alive is a job that is difficult no matter what the age of the actor is. Even professional actors, that's their responsibility, to make the roles come alive. And so part of that is casting the right kid for the right role, that they seem to just fit it. Not necessarily physically, but that they have the mannerisms or the facial expressions. And that's why character is so super important. Mr. Dragon has been doing a great job of helping kids find their character, and little idiosyncrasies in the way that you move or twitch or walk or talk. All those things help in making the character come alive. And then when you have a whole stage of kids making the character come alive, then the show really begins to take on a life of its own. And it involves the audience, which of course is your ultimate goal, is for the audience to feel a part and really enjoy the story. So the kids are doing a great job, and we just keep working on that character stuff. Just be impossible for me to pick a favorite character or a favorite student or a favorite song. I will tell you that being a musician, I tend to kind of gravitate toward the songs that involve the most kids. Fat Sam's is a great song, and we are having so much fun with it, and Mrs. Willis did an outstanding job on the choreography. And I too am a dancer, of course, obviously, and probably could have put together some fine dance moves. But we needed to involve Mrs. Willis also. And so I really tend to like the big production numbers that involve the most kids. The soloists are doing an outstanding job as well. But the more kids we can get working together to put forward a great musical production, the better I like it. Shh, don't tell anybody.
What is your favorite part of the new play?
It's kind of tough to put into words the whole plot of Bugsy Malone. It takes place in about the 1920s, and so it's kind of during the gangster time. That's not the same as gangsta. And so we'll have a speakeasy. There are so many characters in this show, and they all have exchanges and confrontations with each other, either good or bad. And so it's obviously the kids' job to make those characters come alive so that the confrontations are believable. Both the lovey things, which there's not a lot of, come on, and the more controversial, you know, not violent things. But anyway, the kids are doing a great job of enacting those things and playing off of each other's characters. You definitely have to know what your own person is about so you know how to play off of somebody else. But there's a lot of interaction between characters, and the show was a lot of fun. Speak Easy, which is...
When is the musical and how much are tickets?
Okay. We're going to perform Bugsy Malone on November 7th, 8th, and 9th. That's a Thursday, a Friday, and a Saturday night. The tickets are $5 a piece, and they can be purchased at the door, but I think we're going to give kids the opportunity who are in the show to sell them ahead of time as well. So you will have the opportunity to get access to a ticket before the night of the show, and you're going to look forward to some great music, some great singing, some great acting. Mrs. Bunch is going to play the piano. How much better does it get than that? And so it's just going to be a fun-filled night, not too serious, not too heavy. It's a great family experience. Bring the kids.
Why did you decide to help with the musical?
I don't even know that I could break it down into what is my very favorite thing about being the musical director. I love the other directors I'm working with. I refer to us as the dream team. You've got Mrs. Mitchell directing, Mr. Dragon doing all kinds of character work, Mrs. Willis, who is a choreographer, Mrs. Bunch is going to play the piano, and then you've got Mr. Madsen, who is building the set, whom we haven't even met yet. It really is the dream team, and we are so lucky. But the most wonderful thing is working with the kids. They've been really attentive. They've worked hard, they've come prepared. It's really been a great experience, hopefully not just for the adults, but for the kids as well. So I don't think I really have a favorite part.
What is the musical about?
It's kind of tough to put it into words what Bugsy Malone Jr. is about. It takes place in the 1920s, and so it's during the time of Prohibition when there wasn't any alcohol allowed, and so therefore they had to have little secret clubs that nobody knew about so they wouldn't get caught. And so it was called a speakeasy. That's what the secret club was called, Fat Sam's. And so there's a Dandy Dan's bunch of guys, and there's Fat Sam's bunch of guys, and then you have the main characters who are Blousy and Bugsy Malone, and they have kind of a little romance thing going on. And then you've got Tallulah, who is the singer gal, and then you've got Lena, who's the club singer, and oh my goodness, there's so much stuff going on. But there will be no weaponry, because obviously we have an anti-weapon policy here at Heritage Middle School. But let me just think, do we have something else that might take care of that? Oh yeah, we do. You'll just have to wait. It'd be really hard to say if practices and shows have gotten better. Every single year is totally different, and I don't ever feel like I can look back on the previous year and even compare that and say, well, last year this, because every group of kids is so different, and you try to gauge the way you teach the show to the kids that are there. And so every year has been a great experience. Every year we've done great productions, and I can't wait to see how Bugsy Malone is going to turn out. I have big hopes, and it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, new number, fine brains. Okay, boss.
New number, fine brains. Oh, how do you spell brains?
It's all set up, Blousy. Sim will be down in a minute.
Oh, I better freshen up. I'll be right back. Suddenly, everyone wants to be in show business.
Oh, hi, Tallulah.
Hi, Bugsy.
Hi, Loretta, Dottie, Tilly, Velma, and Bangles.
Tallulah, girls, the boss wants to see your brains. I mean, the new number, pronto.
Okay, girls, get dressed. You got a number to do? Oh, Tallulah. I said, beat it. Long time no see, Bugsy.
Well, you know, I've been busy.
Doing what?
This and that.
You're aces, you know that, Bugsy? I've always found you kind of special.
Careful, Tallulah. You're racing my motor.
You've got lovely brown eyes.
There'll be lovely black eyes if Fat Sam catches us. Tallulah, I'm warning you. If you come any closer, I'm calling my lawyer.
So call him.
If Knuckles were here, he'd know that line would become faster.
Boss, Rod's ready for her audition.
Sorry.
Oh, hi, Tallulah.
That's
Okay!
That's really bad.
Oh, that's bad.
You don't ever want to make that mistake in your whole life, ever. Okay, well listen, perfect warning.
I have that effect.
Teachable moment, okay? Because if that actually were to happen in the show, one, it would be hilarious.
It would be.
Two, you could not flip out about it. I mean, you could, but you need to flip out as Bugsy.
Yeah.
Like, actually would be pretty funny.
Or her
Okay?
land on his foot.
I get it.
Yeah, I mean, those kinds of things would be pretty funny. But you need to go with it. So I know that time, and I know we're not 100% in character because we're doing blocking, but that is a perfect example of something that could happen in the show that totally would actually be believable, and they would think it was totally in your script if you went with it.
That'd be a good thing to do.
Let's just get the blocking down first.
Okay.
Can I
Okay,
go from my
let's
Knuckles?
go from to Knuckles missing his line.
So, hey, I am used to my line.
Go.
Boss, the broad's ready for audition.
Oh, hi, Lousy. This isn't what it seems to be.
Hush your mouth, jerk.